Hello guys, Omni here. It's that time of the week again to pick back up with Supergirl. And, for the foreseeable future, I'm not too sure what our schedule is going to be on this because with everything going on around the world and within the country itself, I'm not too sure what the release schedule is going to be because I know production on a lot of the CW shows has been put on hold. So I'm not sure when the next episode necessarily is going to be. So it's going to be playing it by ear. So if you want to keep up with this, make sure to subscribe and all that to see when I post a video about this. But anyway, that being said, tune out now if you haven't seen last night's episode because we're going to be diving into some spoilers. So there's not a whole lot here that I really want to touch upon. Alex's side story with her weapon and her and John investigating these missing persons who are tied and related to Obsidian was all right. It was okay. There was some interesting ideas that went into play. I think it's completely ridiculous as far as how the internal VR world was manipulated in the way that it was. The people were pretty much backdoored out of their own system to where they couldn't monitor it, and this person was kind of kidnapping people virtually. But there was a teeny bit of a commentary on the way certain people do finagle around on the internet, and some of the moral, immoral debate that goes there within the mind on how that works. And that would be like online relationships versus your real world ones. How does that work? How does that interplay? People you have or have not met. And they don't really go too deep into it, but it does mirror the main plot, as I would call it, of this episode. The main point and focus on this episode, of course, is Nia and what she's been going through. Her friend, in which she's hanging out with in this episode, because, she doesn't really have a whole lot of people outside of Kara and them as far as, I don't know. She definitely feels distanced and alone since, the breakup with Brainy. And we see that a lot. She's not really getting out there. She's not putting herself out there. She's retreating in this way. And this Tinder-ish app comes up to play with her friend, and she ends up getting catfished out. Of course, Nia is a trans superhero, and the whole thing ended up, their friend being catfished out was pretty much just to lure and make it a personal attack and send a message to Dreamer, who is known in this way. And, it's a really good message. I think it's a really important side of the story and thing to focus on as far as, the struggle, the perception, the emotional weight that comes with it. I know people that have gone through this. I know people in pretty much every aspect of these communities. And, I feel like that the writing didn't do it all of the justice. I like the interactions between her and Kara. I like how they approached that. Of course, Kara not really having the lens necessary to judge her feelings or really be able to gauge and traverse Nia's feelings in this situation. However, I just could not agree or believe rather that she, being in the situation she's in, doing all of the things that she has done, despite the background, despite those personal attributes or whatever you would like to call it, I do not believe that Nia Null would jump straight to murder. I think that was a huge extreme and a leap, and she got talked down from that ledge. But for me, I've seen people deal with this. I've seen all kinds of people deal with this level of discrimination, from other races, other sexualities. And I don't, again, this is coming from her lens. She has been working with the DEO. She has been working with Kara and them in a whole manner of ways. And aliens are in this world too, have been treated in a similar manner. And it just felt weird that she went straight to, I'm going to exit this person from the world. Now, do these people deserve to breathe the same air for spreading this hate and inflicting violence on other people, especially physical violence? Because this is not just an exchange of words, and words can hurt. But this goes beyond that. This is predatory. This is attacking. This becomes physical. It does escalate. And they have a point that it may never get justice in the way they serve, with the way things work with the police force, with the way that people treat claims of this sort. I still can't myself logically think that Nia would jump to that level, to stoop that low. And I understand there's a lot going on between Brainy, what's going on, her community being attacked in this way, all to get to her. But she should, I just know deep down that she had to know there was another way. She shouldn't have to have been told there's another way. And that maybe it's not even the best way. But going straight to murder and putting someone to a noose with her dreamer whip, her dream energy whip thing, I don't know. I just couldn't go along with that. It felt like weird writing to bring up the tension. It didn't ever feel real to Nia, and maybe that's just, again, maybe that's because I don't have this lens. You know, I've felt real anger and frustration towards people who bully, who harass, and all this kind of stuff. Of course, all of these things that you grow up dealing with, and of course, it's not the same. It's not ever going to be the same. I personally cannot know what you go through, what people like this go through, by any stretch of the imagination. I can see it, I can witness it, but I'm not going to ever have that internal lens. And they address that. I like how they handle that with Kara, but I just feel like there was a logical leap that I just didn't, from what we know of Nia up until this point, I don't believe it. And I feel like this was just poor writing, poor structure to pad out an episode, as has been with the later half of this season. I think aside from a couple of episodes after Crisis, this season so far has not been very strong. Not with the pacing, not with the balancing of their A and B plots, with furthering the primary plot. It's just been very slow. And there's not been a whole lot of energy. And you all know at this point how I feel about the Lena thing and the Kara stuff. I just don't believe in that either. And not like Lena's side of it, not really Kara. I understand where Kara is coming from 100%. Lena's motivations, Lena's anger, no sense, makes no logical sense to me. And I feel that same way with this here. And I gotta say, the fantastic bit of this episode, and one of the things that I really enjoyed in this, was how Brainy reacted to it. You know, despite everything that's been going on with him working with Lex, you know, he did find it in himself to really kind of betray that motivation to help her, because that is one of his driving factors. That's one of his main factors, is he's doing all this for his friends, for the world, and for her. And being able to do something, he just couldn't put it off anymore. And what he does at the end of the episode, when he's like, here, I found the names of everybody on this chat board, anybody in this message group, everybody associated with this guy who are planning these things, plotting these things, doing these things, evidence of such. Here you go. Do your work. The DEO takes attacks against our superheroes seriously. I liked that bit. And, you know, this is an important issue. I just don't think it was completely 100% handled realistically. That's just my take on it. So take that as what you will. But we got a little surprise at the end of the episode where Alex gets a phone call from their mother that Jeremiah Danvers has been found. We haven't seen him for seasons. His whereabouts, especially up until Crisis, had been unknown. And we get this confirmation that he's been found dead. I'll call it confirmation as it currently stands, that their mother believes they in fact have found Jeremiah and that he is indeed dead. What Obsidian is doing with these people that are being trapped in the virtual world, wrapping them in this foil and hanging them from these ceilings in this vault, no idea what the crap that was. So I don't know. I I don't know what's going on with this Obsidian thing. I don't know what the end goal is going to be. I don't feel like it's very much been set up very well to give us any kind of an idea, but oh well, we'll find out how it plays out whenever the next episodes air. I know they were supposed to go on break for a little bit and come back, but with how things are going currently, I'm not sure what's happening with it. So again, we're going to be playing everything by ear, so keep an eye out. If you guys like these videos, of course, as always, support the channel by liking, commenting, and subscribing, so you know when we're talking about it, because I love talking about this show with you. The other shows, Batwoman, Legends of Tomorrow, The Flash, Black Lightning, I love DC. I love it or hate it. I don't always like everything that comes out. I don't always enjoy everything DC that comes out, but I will at least give it all the try, watch it, and we can talk about it. But that's it, guys. That's all I got for this video and for this episode. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. We can carry on that conversation after the video. As always, thank you guys for tuning in. Be safe out there. You know, I talked a big game about going to see all these movies or whatever despite it, but you know what? That was stupid. That was dumb. Be safe. Stay inside as much as you can. We don't want to be spreading anything around, keeping people safe, keeping yourself safe, and take care, everybody. That's all I got to say.